Hi people, I'm back. Sorry it's a little bit late. We've got penultimate round of the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship in association with MRC. Penultimate round, and then we head on for the last race of the season, which is Bathurst. I'm going to make this quite quick. I won't go through the grid. I will say about the top three, and then I'll speak more during the race. So qualified on pole is me, Macreeda in second, McDaddy in third. That's your top three. Going to get this race underway now, so I apologise for the delay. But yeah, Catalonia, penultimate round of the season 14. What a great season it has been in Pro 2. Great bunch of lads in there. We've had a laugh. We've got one more race to go at Bathurst. Let the the laughs and giggles commence in that final race. But myself and I get away all right. But we've got Macreeda there in second position. McDaddy heading down towards the first turn. Not a lot of cars this evening. We've got 11. The numbers have dropped throughout the season. James Harmon there is like, yeah, coming through if you like, whether you like it or not. But in the meantime, there he runs it a bit wide, doesn't he? James Harmon. Where have you gone, James Harmon? Let me go to James Harmon. Pro 2 league. This is season 14. Been a great league. This very enjoyable indeed. Straight through the middle there. It's like, yes, coming through gold. Just runs a little bit wide on the grass there, but let's see how he gets on. Long race to go. Half an hour races, these races. Penalties, get penalty, can't overtake. There's no fuel depletion, just tyre wear, which is on. At the front is myself, currently sitting in first position. I felt quite confident around this track, but I knew I had to be wary of McDaddy and obviously Marshall and Macreeda to the rear. But Marshall there, he actually made a move onto Macreeda. Let's see where Marshall already made it done, so I haven't picked that up, so I do apologise. Goal 45, been a man on a mission, like I said, since Dragon Gardens. James Harmon there in sixth position. He's been there or thereabouts. Kiwi in seventh. He's loving it as well in the Pro 2 league. Johnny C in eighth. Bazinga in ninth. Jason in 10th. And unfortunately Nick the Hammer Games in 11th position to the rear. So we go quickly because we've got a bit of a move going on there to rear the field. That was Jason, wasn't it? Jason batting away. No, it was Bazinga made the move there. Let's have a look at that. Let's go back and have a look at that quickly. Bazinga, he's like, yes, coming through, heading down this back straight, up to the left-hander. You want to try and perfect this corner because you don't want to run it too wide onto the red stuff. But yeah, Bazinga seen that gap and he's like, I'm coming through, Johnny C, whether you like it or not. Johnny C runs it a bit wide onto that curving, but yeah, Bazinga gets that move done. Very nice indeed. Half an hour races. Tyre wear around this track was pretty high, but I'm still leading the way in first position. McDaddy in second, had a great season. Marshall as well. Macreeda was sat at top spot for the last few races, and I think he secured it. Goal 45 in fifth. James Harmon has gave Martin a run for his money in at the top of the table, but James done all he could. I just think the past few races affected him, and I think he knows that as well deep down. Kiwi in seventh, looking to the right of James Harmon there. Will he get? No, he doesn't get the move done at all. In regards to strategies around here, some people chose to run the mediums all the way through, and some chose to pit as well. But just remember, GT Sport done an update earlier on in the week, and that messed up the pit stops. Yes, they took forever and a day, which we'll find out very, very soon. Myself in first position, McDaddy in second. He's always been at my rear for the past few races. But we head on to Bathurst for the final round of the Pro 2. I mean, all the leagues in the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship have been really, really good. By the sounds of it, by what I've seen on the Facebook page. But yeah, gold there to the left, and Macreeda's like, yeah, coming through, outbreaks himself a little bit, but then Macreeda, he's back in that fourth position, 3 minutes in. Gold 45 in fifth, Kiwi in sixth, then we've got James Harmon in seventh, Bazinga in eighth, Nick the Hammer Gaines in ninth now, he was 11th, now making his way up to the rear. Bazinga there. Let's see if he can get this done. He's looking to the left. No, he just backs out of it through the chicane. But he's got Jason behind him. Jason as well, you know, he's had his ups and downs in this league, but I wish him all the best in season 15. Hopefully he'll stay in Pro 2. I'm not quite sure, but out we go quickly. Jason, Johnny C. Martin and the likes of McDaddy and McCreeder, they'll definitely move up. I'm not sure about me at the moment because I'm still battling away with goal 45. One more round to go. So we're battling it out. I'm 5th, he's 4th, goal 45 there. McCreeder looking to the rear of Marshall. Yeah, he's just sitting behind Marshall, just biding his time. He hasn't got to do much. He's got to, yeah, look, season 14 Pro 2 champion. Yeah. We know that anyway, McCreeder, don't we? We knew that anyway. Yes, very nice bumper. If I see that bumper, I'm just gonna knock you off the track, mate. Nah, I'm joking. But yeah, so McCreeder looking at Marshall there. But Marshall, as you can see on his car, he's got the Idol 4 gaming decal, and I do really appreciate that. Sorry about the comm side of things at the moment in time. I've been well, still not well while doing this, but I need to get it out. I just not me at the moment. I don't know what's going on. I know I've got a few health problems, but they just seem to be getting the better of me at the moment. And to be honest with you, I've had enough. I've had enough of, you know, had enough of it all. But anyway, back to Pro 2 is where it's at. Like I got told off by Dennis Shorey as well on the Facebook page, stop saying apologies, but I do, you know, I normally get the replays out there a few days after, but I've just been a bit slow lately. But yeah, anyway, back to the racing we go. So myself, got a bit of a gap now to McDaddy. Tyre wear is starting to take effect now, and then we've got McDaddy on a racing soft, so he's looking after his tyres really well. So I found it a bit weird because racing soft at the front, racing super soft to the rear for McDaddy, and McCreeder racing mediums to racing softs on the rear, you know. So racing mediums front, racing softs on the rear. Marshall that was, and likewise McCreeder, you know. Racing super softs for goal 45. Kiwi racing soft. James Harbin racing medium, racing softs. So we see how these fellas get on, racing soft, Bazinga there, racing mediums. I think it was because of the update from GT Sport just had an effect on the pit stops, so I think people were worried. Me, I didn't really think about it, you know, just ran it as a normal race and jumped in and done what I had to do. But the pit stops did come into effect. Obviously we are 6 minutes in, we've still got a way to go. Not too far to go at all. So next Friday, I think MRC have got their Race of Champions event. What I've seen posted, so that'll be this Friday coming. Yeah, I hope everyone gets on well. Idol 4 gaming there. McCreeder, James Harbin, see how they get on in the Race of Champions. Goal 45, like I said, goal 45. He's been on a mission, and I think he's been in the Grand Turismo Touring Car Championship from the start. We've got Marshall there looking at. McCreeder looking at Marshall, but no, McCreeder does. Yeah, he does get that move done. Ran the left. Marshall may have the better line. McCreeder can run it out wide, but then Marshall will keep the inside. Goal 45 to the rear still, with Kiwi and James Harbin slowly catching up. McDaddy's putting away now from Marshall. I'm sitting in first position. I'll do it on board lap with myself. I don't really like doing it on board with me, but as I'm the lead runner, that's all I could do. Might not be a perfect lap. McDaddy's he's about 2 seconds back from me now. We are on lap number 5, fastest lap of 1:52.299. That's by myself. Like I said, did qualify on pole. That was a 51.9. Lately with me, I haven't been practicing. When normally I do practice quite a lot. Now I just jump in and just do the races, and that's that. McDaddy's still behind me. He's still lurking there. But yeah, he's showing phenomenal pace as well. So he'll be going up to Pro 1, maybe Elite, you know. I don't know. But I wish him all the best up there anyway. Jay Dante missing as well, and Lucky Bucky as well. Can't forget them, and Anthony Hunt. Quit Ben, they were here at the start as well. But yeah, I wish them all the best, whatever they do next season. So, part way through this lap now. It's all about not running it wide, because you run it wide, then it'll get a penalty. Will affect your time quite drastically. McDaddy just gained a little bit there through that S section, and I did notice that, so I pushed it a little bit more. But you see in a moment, I think it does cost me. It's my own doing. I'm half a second off my pace there. But yeah, I'm just trying all I can. My front left, as you can tell, is just wearing drastically, and McDaddy is just gaining all the time. And there's McDaddy. I do pick up that penalty now. In regards to this penalty, I thought I didn't realise where I picked it up. I think it was here running. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, running over that curb a bit too much. But I thought you could do that. But anyway, you'll see now that McDaddy. I know I'm on board with me still, but McDaddy now will capitalise from this, because I know you can burn it off in the league, but I like getting rid of him straight away. So I just came round here, just pulled over to the right, and just got rid of it. See, I got rid of it then, and then McDaddy's coming along. He's like, "Hello, Idol, how are you, mate? I'll just come along to your right and just take your first position." So he took first position there. So now I'm down to second place. I'm like, right, what do I do now? Because my tyre wear's coming into effect. I can feel it. McDaddy's looking after his tyres really well. I do realise McDaddy does practice a lot. So I thought, yeah, I'll have a bit of a fight back here with McDaddy, but nah, it's just a losing game, you know. I couldn't catch. Oh, here we are. It's all kicking off here now. So we have Marshall McCready now to third position. Can I pick that up? Let me have a look. No, McCready's already got the move done, but it's all kicking off behind. Goal 45 there has ran a bit wide, and he's picked up a penalty. He's battling away here with Marshall and James Harben. Goal 45 just runs it a bit deep, then Marshall can capitalise. So goal 45 is like, no, I don't feel like going around that bend, I'll just cut it. But he does back off. Marshall goes through, James Harben goes through, Kiwi's going through now. Hammer Games is there as well. Nick's coming through. Nick's on his right. We're going to get that move done. And then Gold, from where he was to where he is now, he's lost a lot of places. Nick there gives Kiwi a little kiss, saying, "Oh, it's been nice knowing you, mate, in this league." Here's a little kiss to the rear. So yeah, goal 45, very unfortunate indeed. Ran a bit deep, got a penalty, and that affected his race. But at the front we go, because we have got McDaddy still with myself behind. I did try, but I couldn't. You know, I just fell right back. You know, I just fell right back off McDaddy, and there's nothing else I could do. So I just thought, yeah, I'll just stick with second if I can, or maybe third. But let's see what happens in pit stops. We're 10 minutes in now. Sorry if I sound a bit mumbled jumbled. Payne's there, just sitting there at the minute. But still got Marshall and James Harben. Marshall and James Harben. Yeah, they're coming down this straight, and then James is like, "Here's hello, fellow Infinity chap." And then Kiwi's like, "Boys, don't mess around, because if you crash into each other, I'll just take your places." And he's looking down the left. James just gives Marshall a bit of a kiss to the rear, like Hammer Games done to I can't remember now. Was it Kiwi on this same lap? But yeah, Kiwi's there to the rear. Marshall's still in fourth, having a grand old race indeed. Hammer Games is looking to the rear of Kiwi there. He's pulled a bit of a gap to Bazinga, but now Bazinga's got a 0.5 second penalty. So up we go quickly, because McDaddy now, this is what I mean, he's pulling away. He had phenomenal pace around here, even though I'm still holding the fastest lap at 1:52.299. But McDaddy seems to be in a league of his own in this race. McCready there in third position. Fair play to him, he's championship winner, as it says on the back. S14 Pro 2 champion, the new Crayon Eater #1. That's what it should say on the back of McCready's car there. But we've still got Marshall and James Harben battling it out. James Harben to the rear of Marshall. Pulls to the right. Penalty still behind with Kiwi. So Kiwi's got a penalty. James Harben breaks out a little bit later and gets that fourth position now of Marshall. Very nice move indeed. Racing mediums at the front, racing softs to the rear. Up we go, because now my tyre wears, I'm not looking after them at all. I'm just, you know, yeah, it is what it is. Let's just crack on with it. Let's just crack on. So McDaddy there, still leading the way. That penalty did affect me. I was thinking in my head, if I didn't get that penalty, even though I may be pitted, I can't remember, I still would have lost a lot of time to McDaddy. But I was just pushing it. You know, as you can tell, the tyre wear's coming now. It's happening quite fast. James Harben to the rear of Marshall still. Nick the Hammer Game's now up to 6th. He's looking to the rear of James Harden. He's like, yes, hello, hello. I'm going to come on through my quick fit mobile. So he is looking. We look to the right of James Harden. No, James Harden. Marshall's still in 4th. He has been impressive the past few races as well. James Harden, like I said, he just had an off few races, last races as well. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but you know, oh, Nick there outbrakes himself there. Let's have a look again. So Nick. So he's heading down. He's behind James Harden. I think he just outbrakes himself, you know. Very unfortunate indeed. I think it's a bit of a late braking. He didn't, you know. I know Nick's racing. He didn't mean it. But Marshall's like, here, have that. Bit of a clip to the rear. So now Nick the Hammer Games broke a bit too late, gone a bit too deep. Now we've got a gaggle of cars behind. We've got 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. They're all here. Let's sit on with Jason, because Jason needs a really good final few races, because he needs the luck, you know. Because the past few rounds he's had a bit of bad luck in his mechanics and whatnot. So he's got to move on to Johnny C there, but will Johnny C look to break later? And he takes Bazinga as well. Bit of a kiss to the rear. Oh, it's all going off. Oh, going off. What happened there? Let me go back and have a look at Johnny C. So on board with Johnny C bonnet view. Let's go out car view actually. Did he just outbrake himself? I think he does. Oh no. Oh, it's like he has some mechanical fault there. Because it looked like he tried to brake, but then... Let's watch this again. Yeah, it looked like he had some sort of brake failure. I may be wrong, but... Wow. Idle full game on the rear as well. But it looked like to me he had a bit of brake failure there from his pedals maybe. But out we go. Jason 11th. Sorry, 10th. Johnny C, yeah, I think he had a bit of a failure there from his brake pedals by the looks of it. Bazinga now up to 9th, got rid of that penalty. Kiwi in 8th. Gold in 7th, harassing the back of Nick the Hammer Games there, who's in 6th position. Then we've got Marshall in 5th. James Harden's got that move done while I was looking back at that incident with Johnny C. It looked like he had a major failure. James Harden now up to 4th. Macreada is now up to 3rd. I get another penalty. See, these penalties, I think it... No, it wasn't. Where did I pick this penalty up? Ah, yeah, I ran deep there. Yeah, I felt a bit hard done by the penalties around this track. They were a bit excessive, because it was very minimal by what I was doing. Anyway, that's me having a bit of a moan. Feeling hard done by. 15 minutes in, 15 minutes to go. The penultimate round of the Pro 2 Championship. Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. Despite where people's come, if it's 1st, 2nd and 3rd or 11th, 12th, 13th, they've all had a laugh. I come into the pits now still with that penalty. But yeah, the pit stop took forever. It was like I must have come out 32 seconds behind McDaddy, and I was around 3 seconds before I pitted. It was just really I didn't get it. I don't know why they've done this sort of thing to the game, because now when people have strategies in races, it's going to affect them big time. There I am coming into the pits. You got to think, I came into this pit lane around about the 15-second mark, 15:15. Now look at the time as I come out. You know, it's absolutely crazy. So goal 45 up to 5th now. And that releases Macreada into 2nd, but McDaddy, he's got such an advantage at the minute over Macreada. But Macreada, like I keep saying, he's done all he can. James Harden there with a penalty, likewise Marshall. So synchronised penalty getting there from these two. Goal 45 in 5th. Bazinga in 6th. Look out for Bathurst. That will be coming out shortly after this one, maybe a day after. So yeah, apologies again for the delay. Dennis Shorey and the rest of them like, Darren, shut up. You keep saying apologies, but I do. You know, I just fell out of order on the guys. They've gone out there and raced. It's my duty to provide the replay. But yeah, anyway, McDaddy, yeah, he's done a 152.555. The fastest lap at the minute is, I think, still by myself. Yeah, 152.299. So I still hold the fastest lap, not massively, but I do still hold it. All points matter, because I am competing against Gold 45 there in 5th. And I think there's 4 points between us in this race. So yeah, all the points matter. If I can get as many points as I can, it goes into my favour. Goal 45 as well. He needs all the points as well. But anyway, down we go. Bazinga in 6th. He's been quite quiet this season. Jason, he's just had a few off rounds, you know, mechanical issues and whatnot. Myself in 8th. Now it's for me to try and get up to the top 3 if I can. So Nick the Hammer Games in 9th. And then we have Kiwi in 10th, Johnny C in 11th. Up we go quickly because we have got McDaddy still leading the way. A massive margin. Goal 45 decides to pit as well, but he will lose quite a few positions like I did. So Macreada in 2nd position. Fair play to him. You know, he's won it. Like I keep saying, James Harbin is 2nd. Fair play to him as well. So yeah, McDaddy. The thing with McDaddy, I think he's brought it on a little bit too late in the season. Because if he had this sort of pace at the beginning, I'm not saying he did or he didn't, I'm just saying the past few rounds he's just been stonking, you know. Maybe in the next season, Pro 1 or wherever he goes, maybe he can challenge, because I think he'll have Macreada in the same league, but we'll wait and see. Likewise James Harbin, and depending who comes 4th in the championship out of me and Goal 45, it'd be very interesting where we end up. We could stay in Pro 2. But it's up to the admin of MRC that run the Gran Turismo Touring Car Championship to decide where we go. Obviously 1 and 2 they'll go to Pro 1 or maybe Elite. McDaddy, I think he's got the pace for Elite, that's just my opinion. Gold 45's got the pace for Pro 1, maybe Elite. Myself, I think I need to stay in Pro 2. I think just a bit more practice for myself, I'll be okay. But apart from that, the rest of the fellas, good luck to them in Pro 2 next season. Mr. Banter, you know, I might come in the chat now and again. But here we go, we've got Jason up to 6th, and he's having a really good race this race so far. He's had a bit of a coming together with Johnny C. Johnny C had a bit of a brake failure there. But Jason, his front left is very worn. What's Bazinga like? Bazinga, he's on a racing mediums. They're sort of identical in tyre wear. It's very astonishing that. Almost identical tyre wear the front left. Yeah, fair enough, Jason's worn a little bit more. But then Bazinga to say the likes of Macreada hasn't got a lot of tyre wear on that racing medium. James Harbin as well. McDaddy, he's on the racing source, you wouldn't believe it, but he is. Looking after them tyres really well. But Marshall racing mediums. Sort of on the same par as Bazinga in tyre wear the front left. Myself, I'm trying to look after these tyres because I can see Bazinga up ahead. Nick the Hammer Games is 7th. He has pitted for a fresh set of boots. Kiwi in 8th. Gold 45 in 9th. Kiwi pitted. Minimal tyre wear on there as well. Gold 45, no tyre wear. Jason coming out of the pits now. You see what I mean? How long these pit stops are? It's just unbelievable. So up we go, McDaddy, give him his due, running a stonking race at the minute. Still in 1st position, Macreada in 2nd, James Harbin in 3rd, Marshall in 4th, about a 2nd behind James Harbin there, 2nd half maybe. And then we got Bazinga in 5th. I'm slowly catching Bazinga in 6th position. Nick the Hammer Games, he's quite a way back with a half-second penalty there. They were so easy to pick up around this track, the penalties. I don't know what it was. Were they on really strong or something? I'm not quite sure. Kiwi in 8th, Gold 45 in 9th, Jason in 10th, and unfortunately Johnny C to the rear after his failure in 11th position. Get back onto Johnny C. There he is. I think at this, I think he had a failure of his pedals. He just sat to the right. Yeah, something went on with his pedals with his wheel, so I'm not quite sure what happened, but it's unfortunate for him just to pull over to the right. Macreada, see the margin from McDaddy to Macreada. McDaddy's just illegal of his own at the minute. James Harbin in 3rd, Marshall in 4th, Bazinga in 5th. Now I'm coming coming in to attack Bazinga there. So I know Bazinga's, as it pitted, he must have quite a bit of wear on his tyre, and I was right because I was thinking that my head sit behind him. Again, another penalty. So that's 2 seconds worth of penalty added to the time I lost in the pits. It's my own fault, you know. I abuse the track limits. But now I get rid of it. The sooner I get rid of it, the better. Bazinga runs it a bit deep there, so I'm looking behind Bazinga, looking for this to move. Bazinga does give it a bit of a fight. Now this bit here, I want people's opinions. Was I a bit forceful? yeah, I just eased off. I seen a bit of a gap, so I went for it. Let's go back and have a look at that. So, going around this bit here, Bazinga ran it a bit deep. I thought at this point he will have quite high tyre wear. So this right-hander, this long right-hander, he left a bit of a gap. So I went for that gap. Yeah, rubbish racing, as they say, but I didn't know if I was in the wrong to Bazinga there. I thought I was okay, but I knew Bazinga may have had quite a bit of tyre wear on them tyres, and I was right, because by the time I got past him, that gap increased quite drastically. So up we go 3. So what's going on with Macreada? Macreada in second, McDaddy in first, with Johnny C to the right there. Got massive margin over Macreada. James Harbin to Macreada, quite a bit of a gap there. But Marshall, 1.5 second penalty, wow. And James Harbin showing 0-0, but he has got a little bit there. But Marshall, I think that penalty will come into effect for him. 7 minutes to go of this race, not long to go at all. Myself down, ran a bit deep into that chicane, but I'm in 5th. Bazinga now has fallen back, he's in 6th. Half second penalty, well, just under. Nick the Hammer Games there. Smoke from his tyres. He was up there, thereabouts, but penalties are affecting him as well, like a few others. Kiwi in 8th, goal 45, my contender for that 4th in the table. Yeah, with me being 5th and goal being 9th, I had a bit of an advantage in points in this race. But it all boiled down to Bathurst, Mount Panorama, which that video will be out soon. So Jason, goal 45 in 9th, like I said, I'm battling him in the championship table. And then we have Jason in 10th in the Samson, Johnny C in 11th, pulled over to the right. So, Daddy, just no stopping the guy at the minute. Macreada, I think he just took it nice and easy this race. As you can see on the back of his car, yet again, is that Pro 2 crown eating champion. James Harbin in 3rd. Now in my head I was thinking, right, we've got just over 5 minutes to go. I could see the guys there sort of in the distance, 3rd and 4th. I'm in 5th position here. Now it was for me, Bazinga's in 6th coming around there now. It was for me to try and catch the back of these two. I didn't know if I could do it with just over 5 minutes to go, but we'll have a look at that in a moment or two. Because we've got Bazinga in 6th. Nick the Hammer Games has fallen back from Bazinga. Penalties are having an effect on Nick as well. Goal 45 in 8th. Purple sector for him. I'm not quite sure. Did he get fast out? I can't remember. Kiwi in 9th. We'll have a look in a minute. Jason in 10th. Johnny C on the right of the start-finish line there. So, McDaddy, Macreada, James Harbin. I think the focus on at the minute, again another penalty. It seems to be lap after lap getting these penalties. It was weird. But Marshall there, he's going into that right hand. I could see Marshall. Again, I get rid of that at the end of that long straight. So I could see Marshall up ahead. But by this time, James Harbin seemed to pull out a bit of a gap, whether he knew I was lurking around. So there's Marshall there. Let's see if James Harbin can see me. No. Marshall, can you see me if I'm on board with you? Let's have a look. So you're coming around that right-hander there. No, not at the minute. Yeah, you can now. In certain sections of this track, I was catching him. As you can see, I'm in 5th position, so I am catching Marshall slowly. Not rapidly, but I'm thereabouts. So all points for me mattered against goal 45. Don't get me wrong, goal 45 earned the right to be in that promotion spot. But I wanted to, not being horrible, I wanted to, you know, contest it as well. So it's 4 points, like I said. Marshall in 4th. Up we go to McDaddy. McDaddy come around this final chicane now, with Scottish flag on top of his Aston Martin. I forgot to say these are one make Aston Martin races. So McDaddy now coming over lap number 15, starting lap number 15. We just have under 4 minutes to go of this race. Macreada in 2nd, quite comfortable in 2nd position as well. James Harbin in 3rd. Then we have Marshall in 4th, and myself, I'm gunning it now because I can see I'm close so much time to Marshall and to James Harbin. I thought, right, we've got this amount of time to go, around 2 laps, I would say. Can I gain to the back of 4th and 3rd. We'll go back to that in a moment or two. Mazinga in 6th. Nick the Hammer Games is slowly catching Mazinga there. Mazinga's still yet to pit. Look at his front left tyre. He's going to have no tyre tread on that at all. Nick the Hammer Games, fresher set of tyres for Nick the Hammer Games. Can he get Mazinga, who's in 6th? Then we have Gold 45 in 8th. Kiwi in 9th. Jason in 10th. And Johnny C in 11th. Up we go quickly because McDaddy, stonking race from you. I know I keep saying it, but it was. McCreeder, I think he just took his time and took it easy. Here we go. So Marshall and myself. So now I've caught to the back of Marshall. I'm thinking, right, where can I pass Marshall safely and cleanly? Because I can see James Harbin up ahead as well in 3rd. So I make the move here into this left-hander. Because I knew Marshall didn't pit and his tyre wear would have been quite high. So I get the move done now to Marshall. Now my concentration now, even though I've still got Marshall behind, is James Harbin in 3rd position. We will have one more lap after this lap. Sorry, the final lap will be coming up. The next lap will be the final lap. James Harbin there gets a bit of a penalty. So McCreeder in 2nd. McDaddy will be crossing the line in a moment or two to start the final lap. So yeah, from him taking the lead from me, by me getting a penalty, he's just pulled it out, massive margin. You can tell where I am now to where McDaddy is crossing the timing line now on the start finish straight. It was unstoppable. I keep saying it, but it's true. James Harbin there in 3rd, still a bit of penalty over his car, half a second. McCreeder in 2nd, come around the final corner. We are on the final lap of this race, so it's for McDaddy to win. McCreeder in 2nd, James Harbin in 3rd. I'm slowly catching James Harbin there in 3rd position, but where's my the guy I'm competing against in the table, Gold 45? He's in 8th, so he has gained a position, but I think at this moment in time I've got a bit more points than him in this race. Yes, I did, so that has closed the gap, but it's still minimal between me and Gold 45. Nick the Hammer Games there in 6th, Marshall in 5th. Down we go quickly because Johnny C, Jason in 10th, behind Kiwi there. It looks around the right. Wow, that was a very nice move through the final chicane. Kiwi just slows it up, and then Jason's like, yeah, I'm coming through to your right, and he gets that move done very nice indeed around the right of Kiwi. Very nice move indeed. Fair play to Kiwi, gave him racing room as well. Up we go quickly, up we go 2. Kiwi did fight back, but he didn't get that move done. Bazinga, Nick the Hammer Games, with Bazinga's tyre, Nick the Hammer Games got the job done. We've got James Harbin and myself now, so me and James Harbin, I've caught James Harbin quite quickly, and James Harbin was defending. He still got that penalty, so that penalty above his car is into my advantage. So I just bide my time with James Harbin because I knew sooner or later we'll get him no matter what, because he has to burn that penalty off. So at the front we got McDaddy. McDaddy's still leading the way, come around the final chicane. James Harbin to me, I look to the rear James Harbin, I keep to the left. Can I get that move done? So McDaddy, come around the final corner now. Very good race from you. We'll go back to my move in a minute. McDaddy, great win from you, my man. Well done on that 1st position. McCreeder across the line in 2nd. So me and James Harbin there. So going back to this move on to James Harbin. Up this back straight. I look to the left. James Harbin here with the penalty. A bit aware of tyres of me. I pulled to the left, get that move done. James Harbin did look to try and make the move. He closed up a bit here, but it's just a bit too much. So we go quickly. McDaddy the winner. McCreeder, so fair play to McDaddy, you know. McCreeder, championship winner of Pro 2, season 14. Crossing the line in 2nd position, flashing lights. And then we have myself, after that long pit stop, pit crew being lazy yet again, I come to finish 3rd in this race, penultimate round. James Harbin in 4th position, get rid of his penalty. Marshall in 5th. Just like, look at that tyre wears, very high. Then we have Nick the Hammer Games coming around now in 6th position, across the start finish line to finish the race in 6th. Then we have Bazinga battling away with Gold 40. Can Gold 45 get this move done to Bazinga? Wow! Let's have a look at this finish. So Nick the Hammer Games is 6th. Bazinga just runs it a bit deep there, but Gold 45 is like, right, I'm going to get you on the start finish straight. Does he get that move done? Let's have a look. So Bazinga's there. Oh, that was a thousandth of a second that between them two. So Jason in 9th, QB in 10th, and then Johnny C in 11th. That was the penultimate round, and we'll do Bathurst on the weekend. I do apologise for the delay, but I've been Airside Idle 4. But yeah, I'll post the other replay once it's done. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.